Can you believe it's been 8 years since the University of Johannesburg's name changed in 2005? From its Rand Afrikaans University days or Rand Afrikaans Universiteit days, the institution has undergone many changes, including its merger with what used to be VISTA in Soweto and WITS TECHNIKON. This has created a demand and attracted students from all walks of life. Now, last year's unfortunate incident where a parent actually died due to a stampede is testimony to the demand for its services. And this is according to a World Index service. I'm not even going to, I'm going to ask the professor to
QS.
Just QS, what's the
Yeah.
full name? Are we even going to go there?
Simons.
Thank you.
Call it QS.
That's what I wanted, the Simons. Okay, thank you. The World Ranking Survey for 2013-2014, it was released this Tuesday, and the UJ University has actually been ranked among the world's top universities, and I think that's absolutely amazing. The university has moved into the top 4% of global universities, and Professor Tinyiko Maluleke is in studio with me. He is the University of Johannesburg's Deputy Vice-Chancellor. Good to have you, Prof. Thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you.
That's incredible. What a wonderful accolade to receive for a university.
It is actually. We are very pleased with it. I mean, this is a university which is less than 10 years old. It's the youngest of all universities in South Africa to be ranked.
Yeah.
The youngest of all ranked universities in Africa. There are in total 13 universities in Africa which have been ranked, and none of them is younger than the University of Johannesburg. When we presented our credentials for ranking, we looked only at the last 8 years. This is not to say we are not proud of our legacies. We are proud of VISTA and RAO, and we now have, as you will know, a world-class campus in Soweto, thanks to that legacy. But we're looking forward as a university, and we're ambitious. Presented our credentials, told them how much research we have done over the past 8 years. We have tripled our research outputs in that short period. And I think that these are some of the reasons why we have been ranked.
You know, I think what really hit home for me was we were busy chatting off air, and Fada, our cameraman, who's busy chatting away over there, Richard Matotsi, he came and he said to you, I never ever dreamt that my children will ever come to RAO. I didn't think that they could ever be allowed to enter into that campus. And now, like I said in the introduction, you know, UJ boasts and brags so many different youths from all walks of life in South Africa. And I mean, I think it's one of the purely representative campuses in our country.
Certainly, and that is part of what is remarkable about this ranking, because of all the 7 universities of South Africa ranked, UJ has the largest student body.
Yeah. And
that means, and of that student body, nearly 15% are from the poorest section of the South African community. 48,000 students that we have. And so the fact that we are large, in other words, we are responding to the national need, the national mandate of universities, without neglecting our ambition to be one of the best in the world. Yeah. And one of the reasons we were ranked so highly is because our students are employable. In fact, our highest score was around the employability of our students, which means that employers are very happy with the products that we produce, as well as, of course, the research impact that we are making.
How many students are at UJ?
At the moment, just over 48,000. Okay. About around 40,000 of them are undergraduates, so we are largely an undergraduate institution, and the rest being postgraduate. As I said, 15% of them come from the poorest section of society. We're very pleased with the diversity of our students. We have about 11% of our students being international, for example, and that's one of the criteria. So you have a large presence of international staff, a large presence of international students on campus, and that's part of the identity of this vibrant university that is emerging out of these legacy institutions that you were referring to.
Obviously, every institution has its fair bit of controversy as well. But I mean, let's go back to what happened with that stampede at UJ, where one of the parents was actually killed in the process of lining up to try and get their child into this particular university. Obviously, that whole mechanism has now changed in terms of enrollment into the university. We're sitting in September now. Applications flooding in. How has the process changed? How did it work after all did sort of get rectified?
I must say that was one of the most difficult moments the university has faced in its short history as a new institution. It was very hard. I think the Vice Chancellor, Professor Rensburg, was gutted, literally, I mean, even when he appeared on the media. And the entire institution went into shock. Even though, as you said, we understand the reason why people were at the gates. They are trying to get an education for their children, and I think we mustn't forget that. But what has happened ever since is that the university has now designed a new method for people to apply and be admitted. No walk-ins anymore. It's not necessary for people to walk to the gates. They can go online. We've got a Mobi site, which is very, very effective. People can go online and choose what they want to study and make an application there and virtually finalize everything online. Okay. And this is working very, very well. And the demand is very high. Yeah. We get, between now and the time when we will close, we'll get a very high volume of submissions online, of telephone calls, people making inquiries. But it is, of course, a lot safer than you know, getting people to come to our gates.
I would imagine a very hard lesson learnt during that year. Just to conclude, a few months back, I mean, how can we forget the President of the United States, Barack Obama, being hosted by the University of Johannesburg as well? I'm sure this put you on the map as well.
It certainly did. And we are very proud of that. Now, of course, there was also a bit of controversy around it. You will remember Barack Obama does evoke some controversy. And that's fine. I mean, as a university, we say it's fine. What we will not refrain from doing is to tackle these controversial issues. And if you had been in Soweto when Barack Obama was speaking, the hunger of young people for leadership was palpable. They were singing songs about Barack Obama, spontaneous songs. And I think it's not so much about him as a person, but it's about a hunger for leadership, a hunger for mentorship, a hunger for progress that young people in this country and on this continent have. And through that space that we created for interaction between our students and Barack Obama, a little bit of that thirst was quenched. But there is still a lot of thirst to be quenched for young people, and the university will continue to do this.
Professor, thanks for talking to us. Professor Tinyiko Maluleke, who's the Deputy Vice-Chancellor at the University of Johannesburg, talking to us.